Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. When I was first exploring Disney Vacation Club, one of the things I wanted to look at most was the DVC member login portal. I wanted to know what access looked like for members, and even more important, I wanted to know what it was like to actually book a DVC villa as a member. Despite my best efforts, I rarely saw even screenshots of the member portal. My entire goal for this channel is to make things easier for you. Therefore, in today's video, I'll be highlighting the basics of the member portal, and we will be going through what it looks like to book a vacation. If you're new to Disney Vacation Club, be sure to check out my video playlist that goes over a ton of DVC jargon and relevant information to know. If you found any of those videos or this video helpful, please go ahead and give the videos a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Ring that bell icon to receive notifications for whenever I post new videos. And if you have any questions about the DVC member portal, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I'm happy to explain further as best I can, or even create a separate video going further in depth to a link that maybe I skim over today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into that DVC member portal and go through what it looks like to book a DVC vacation as a member. When you log into your Disney Vacation Club account, it is pretty similar to logging into your Walt Disney World or in My Disney Experience account, with definitely some fun differences. First things first, you'll be taken to your dashboard where you are welcomed home at the very top. I'm not sure what this looks like if you have multiple home resorts, but for me, I get this beautiful picture of my home resort, Bay Lake Tower. This top portion of your dashboard has two main sections. On the left, we have an overview of your vacation points, and on the right, you have some pertinent links. Here you can see all of your available vacation points for this use year, as well as the next few use years, and any vacation points you might have in holding. Vacation points are put into holding essentially as a penalty if you cancel a Disney Vacation Club reservation within a certain time frame. You can learn all about the restrictions placed on points in holdings account in my DVC cancellation policy video, which I will link in the card here. I'll also leave a link to this video in the description down below. I bought a stripped contract, so you can see that in the current use year, August 2020, there are 0 points available. This is because the previous owner used all of those points. My first allotment of points is coming in August 2021. You can see right now there is 1 point available. This is because I used most of my points already to book a vacation. I'll be uploading a video soon going over the beginnings of my plans for my next Walt Disney World trip. But generally, you'll see your full annual allotment of points here, so you can see 90 for August of 2022 and 90 for August of 2023. This is because I have a 90-point contract. Moving over to the right side of your main dashboard panel, you have all of these links. The notifications links brings up various notifications that you may be interested in as a DVC member. For example, this top one states that the Grand Californian Hotel and Spa is going to be reopening on December 6th. What DVC considers the most pertinent news is going to have these exclamation point symbols and be shaded in blue. However, there are points down below that I think are also really helpful and that I use the notifications page for the most. First, it says points are available for banking, and if you click read more, you can actually click the link to go ahead and bank your points online. That will take you to the place where you can do that, or it'll give you the number to call member services to have them do that for you. We'll revisit banking points in a little bit. But second and most helpful are these bottom two bullets that list your home resort booking window as well as your general resort booking window from today. So if we click read more, you'll see that I can book a vacation at my home resort for check-in date on or before October 15th, 2021. And then for other Disney Vacation Club resorts, that check-in date has to be on or before June 15th, 2021. These lines essentially just tell you what is 11 months from today and 7 months from today. If you have a loan directly with Disney, here's where your loan information is going to be. I don't have this loan, so I just have a nothing to see here Rex. If you purchase additional ownership interest, you can go ahead and link that through this Add Member ID link. Here you'll add your new club ID as well as the activation code that's sent to your email. You can access information about your annual dues through this link. Here you can see my 2020 dues have been paid in full and the 2021 dues statement is not yet available, therefore my current balance is $0. However, even though I don't have an active balance, I can actually set up autopay currently. There are two primary options for autopay. One is to pay annually. This can be set up by adding a credit card to your account, and that credit card will automatically be charged every January. Other than annually, you can also set up monthly debits. This requires a US-based checkings or savings account. You set up your account information and then Disney will automatically debit your monthly dues every month. Your profile information is exactly what you would expect. Here's where you would go ahead and fill out details or change details for your contact information, your membership information, and your communication preferences. This is very similar to that of your My Disney Experience account. It's just separate as it is your DVC account instead. And the last quick link is these condo notices. Here, you'll find news and information about your condo, specifically really focused on your home resort. So you can see here, I have 2020 information specific for Bay Lake Tower, as well as some 2019 general highlights. The last link in this main section of your member dashboard is your member card / identification link. Here's where you'll be able to access your member ID. So if you click this link, your ID will pop up. My DVC guide told me I would not be mailed a physical ID and I would need to print this or take a screenshot of this on my phone before my trip. Because I bought a resale contract, I do have limited access to membership benefits. Therefore, my card background is white. If you're what Disney considers a full member and bought directly through them with whatever the criteria are at the time, you would actually have a blue background, your blue membership card. So this membership card, as well as this web page, tells me what I do have access to as a resale member. You can see they make it quite clear that they think I'm missing out on a lot. The first sentence on this page is, this membership is not eligible for the full range of member benefits. And if you click this link, it will take you to the full range of benefits. But even as a resale member, I do have access to pool hopping, DVD rentals, and the Top of the World Lounge. Clicking on any of these links will give you further details about how that works. The second portion of your dashboard is less about your membership and more about your vacation. If you have a vacation booked already, your countdown will appear at the top, and then any details will be listed below. And very similarly to My Disney Experience, if you expand any of these, you can view or modify the details, you can begin your online check-in, and you can add any of those additional options. The other part of the My Vacation Plans tab is Plan Your Next Vacation, and here's where you can begin to book vacations straight from your dashboard. You simply enter your check-in and check-out days, you can pick whatever kinds of room types you're interested in seeing, you can let them know if you need an accessible room, and then you click Check Availability. We'll go through booking towards the end of this video, so stay tuned. Finally, you have this booking window calculator. If you know when you want to start your next vacation, you can use this tool and it will let you know when you can begin booking that trip. For example, let's look at December 1st, 2021. Now, depending on what kind of membership you have, you may not be eligible to use your points for all of these things, but it will tell you when you could start to book all of these. Your booking window for your home resort will open up as early as January 1st, 2021, and then for all the other Disney Vacation Club resorts, not until May 1st, 2021. So that's the 11 and 7-month booking windows. And then if you qualify to use your points for other types of hotels, Adventures by Disney, or the cruise line, it will tell you when your booking window will start, or if you're already in your booking window. If you know exactly when you want your trip to start, this is a super helpful tool. The other sections on your dashboard aren't particularly exciting. Connect with Disney Vacation Club points you to their Instagram as well as the Disney Parks blog. Then you've got an ad for the Disney Premier Visa card. Finally, here's the member services number, and then if you need a sitemap, all of your links are down here. If we look at My DVC on the top menu, most of these links we've already talked about. Here on the left side, you have notifications, membership documents, loans, annual dues, add a new member number, and condo association news. For the most part, these we have already covered in the right-hand part of the menu from your dashboard. Membership documents is a little bit different though. Let's take a look at that. So here's the access to membership extras document. This is that pretty hefty disclosure statement that we've talked about a lot of times when it comes to restrictions. Second are your home resort rules and regulations. This is also a pretty hefty legal document. I haven't had a chance to read through either of these yet, but when I do, I will let you know if there's anything to note. For now, and at least for me, those are the only important membership documents listed. This is probably not a page you really need to access hardly ever. Back under the My DVC tab from the main menu, let's go ahead and look under My Membership. We are currently on our dashboard. We know what my profile is. Let's go ahead and click this My Vacation Points link. Your dashboard does have an overview of your vacation points, but this is a much more detailed look. So in the current use year, August 2020, it's obvious that I have 0 vacation points currently available to use. It says it both here as well as largely down here. Also, you can explore your other upcoming use years. For example, in August of 2021, I have 1 of 90 vacation points. Again, I already used 89 of them. And in use years further out that I haven't yet borrowed from or used any of those points in any way, I have the full allotment of points, 90 of 90 in August 2022, as well as August 2023. If you want to keep track with all of your vacation points activity, you'll go ahead and access this View Transactions. Here you'll find your statement of vacation points. So we can see that on October 24th, someone made a manual adjustment to my allocation of points and added 90 vacation points into my August of 2021 use year. Basically then right away, I made several reservations. And a couple days later, I went ahead and made a modification. So if you want to keep track of all your reservation numbers and modifications, how your points have been moving around without necessarily keeping track of all those emails you get sent, this is a great place for you. Back under the My DVC menu, the next link is Bank My Vacation Points. This will actually take you straight back to your vacation points overview. I currently have no vacation points left to bank, so I don't have anything to do here. But if you did have vacation points to bank, this is where you would start that process online if you didn't want to call member services. The next link is the points charts. Points charts are available to the general public. This is not necessarily behind that member login wall. You absolutely can access this information even if you are not currently a DVC member. The main tab is going to be the Disney Vacation Club resorts, and here you can access all of the points charts for 2021, as well as for now, all of the 2020 points charts. Moving to the right, next we have the Disney collection. This is things like Disney cruises, other Disney hotels like Disneyland Paris and Disney Hong Kong, Adventures by Disney, and more. The next tab is the Concierge Collection. This is a variety of hotels around the world where you can exchange your points into. Note that depending on your access to member benefits, you may not be able to exchange your points through the Disney Collection or the Concierge Collection. For example, since I recently bought my resale contract, I cannot use these options. The last tab is the World Collection of RCI resorts. So far, at least, even resale members can still access this. So here's where you'll find your point charts conversion for RCI. The last link under My Membership is View My Membership Card. This link takes you back to that same page where you can view your membership identification as if you clicked the membership card/identification link from your dashboard. So that takes care of all the main links in your My Membership section. Next, we have My Vacation. Again, you do see a snapshot of this on your dashboard, but here's some more links. One is for Disney Magical Express service. So if you want to book the Magical Express, you'll click this and fill out a form. It's very much the same, in my opinion, as when you're just going to Walt Disney World, not as a DVC member. Provide Disney with various information, and a cast member will go ahead and make your Magical Express reservation. My DVC guy did tell me on the phone, though, that if I wanted my reservation to show up faster, to just call member services and have them book Magical Express for me over the phone instead of submitting this web form. Next under My Vacation is travel insurance. So Disney does sell travel insurance, and if you wanted to buy that, here is where you would purchase it. And finally, we have the pre-arrival checklist, which is actually quite extensive. Currently, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Disney has implemented a reservation system. So the first link here is to go ahead and make your theme park reservations. Next, we have Reserve the Magical Express, which we've already touched on, as well as travel insurance, which we have talked about. Here you can find more information about online check-in service, but this is essentially the same as you would for a Walt Disney World hotel if you were not staying DVC. Next is Make the Most of My Magic Plus. I actually hadn't heard of this before I was exploring this website. If you click this link, though, you'll be taken to a list of things you probably do know about. This is information about things like My Disney Experience, Magic Bands, and FastPass service. There is this section about My Magic Plus for Disney Vacation Club members. This details some member benefits like access to your member discounts. There's also a whole section here for tips and tricks for linking your accounts. Back to that pre-arrival checklist, the next thing is order groceries. You can, of course, order groceries online through things like Amazon Prime delivery, but Disney Vacation Club also has their own service. The various resorts have their own grocery forms, so click the resort you're interested in, and then you're going to scroll down quite a long way in order to get to grocery orders. Here you'll be able to access that order form. So you fill out your form and you fax it to that Disney Vacation Club resort, and then you can just pick up your groceries. The font on this is a tad small, but you might notice you certainly are paying an upcharge for the convenience of this service. For example, at least on this version of the form, a single blueberry muffin is $3.29. Very often at grocery stores like Publix or Kroger, you can get 4 muffins for that price. So this is convenient, but you are paying that typical Disney upcharge. After order groceries on the pre-arrival checklist is dining plans and reservations. This is nothing special for DVC. Here you'll learn more about making dining reservations. These are those advanced dining reservations we're all used to, as well as purchasing a dining plan. That option is not currently available due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but generally DVC members are able to add a dining plan onto their reservation. And the next few things are quite broad. The Plan Things to Do link will take you to quite an extensive list of various resorts and things you can do at the hotels, restaurants, cruise line, and more. Member Savings and Experiences will take you to the full list of member benefits, but again, remember, depending on your contract, you may not be eligible for most of these. I certainly am not. Member News and Updates takes you to the Disney Vacation Club section of the Disney Parks blog. And finally, this Vacation Center link goes straight to your dashboard, which we have explored extensively. The last section of your My DVC tab is My Extras. This first link, Member Benefits and Events, will take you back to that page we just explored that lists all of the possible member benefits. But again, depending on your membership type, you may not qualify to access most of these. The next link is Disney Vacation Club News. This is going to take us back to the DVC section of the Disney Parks blog. The final link is Disney Files. This is not something I'd ever heard of before, but it's basically just a fun online magazine full of a bunch of various extras, behind the scenes looks at things. So if you're missing Disney and want a hint of that magic at home, you can go ahead and explore all of the various offerings in the Disney Files. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other features. Under Plan a Vacation, you can look at the last minute getaways. Of course, you can just start to book a vacation and look at the various calendars for all of the resorts to see what is or is not available. But if you don't want to do this and you just want a general sense of what may be available for a last minute getaway, this is a nice list that they curate. This is the general availability that they have at various resorts for the different villa types over various days through the next 60 days. Particularly if you have points in your holding account, this may be of interest to you. The event calendar planning tool is exactly what it sounds like. It will list various events ongoing at the resort. So you can see November and December have wine tasting experiences and painting with a view. Clicking any of the calendar links will bring you to that page where you can learn more about that. And if you want to book it, go ahead and call member services. Now let's get to what booking a vacation would look like. You can start from the main DVC page and then enter your dates here. This looks very similar to that of when you're looking at hotels for Walt Disney World. Alternatively, you can go to your dashboard and plan your next vacation with this tool. Lastly, of course, you can go to plan a vacation and click book a vacation. Here you're going to let them know what your travel party consists of and when you want to travel. Let's look at some random days in May. From the same page, you can check availability of the theme parks, which is nice these days since you do need to make theme park reservations. From here, you can select as many or as few room types as you are interested in. Since I'm just a travel party of 2, let's go ahead and look at studios only. And if you need an accessible room, you can click this box. Now it's telling me what my home resort is and how far out I can book with my home resort priority. And then there's the list of all the other Walt Disney World resorts. If you want to look at all of them, simply select this box. Then the other resorts not located at Walt Disney World are separated out below. So select the resorts you're interested in and then click check availability. Your home resort will pop up first. And so here you can see that a Lakeview Deluxe Studio is available for all my nights and it will cost 77 vacation points. If you want to look at the general calendar, you can just expand this menu and then take a peek. You can scroll through as far as 11 months out in advance. If you were hoping for a different type of room, the algorithm may have hidden it from you. So go ahead and click this view other rooms. So now you can see the theme park view and the standard view deluxe studios populate. In this case, only 2 of the nights that I'd selected are available at theme park view, and those 2 would cost me 46 vacation points. The standard view deluxe studio is waitlist only for all of the nights, but if I manage to snag that, it would be 66 vacation points total. So you can see here they are sort of grayed out, and that's because these rooms aren't available, but I can put myself on the wait list. And then you can continue to scroll down to look at all of the other resorts that you're interested in. For example, you can see that I would be able to book these dates for the Polynesian Villas for either a standard view or a Lakeview Deluxe Studio. And here's the total amount of points it would cost. Saratoga Springs is also available for these dates, as well as the Jambo House side of Animal Kingdom Villas. However, if you were willing to do a split stay and wanted to save some points, definitely for Animal Kingdom, check out those value accommodations. They are available for 3 of those nights, so I could stay in value for 3 nights and then just tack on 1 or 2 nights somewhere else. Savannah View for Kidani is fully available, but not quite totally available for the standard view. And so you can see how simple this is really for any of the resorts. For the dates I've selected at Disney's Boardwalk Villa, there are no rooms fully available for all of my dates. That means I would either have to go on the waitlist and hope that works out or do a split stay. I actually think this user interface is really intuitive and obvious, and I like the way things are laid out. You can tell right away how many nights are available at the different accommodations and how many vacation points that would cost me. And then if you're just interested in browsing availability for a certain room type at a certain resort, you absolutely can do that through this booking tool. For example, perhaps I'm interested in tacking some nights onto my already planned vacation. If I want to do those at the boardwalk, I can go ahead and look around my vacation dates to see what already is or is not booked. For September of 2021, we are still within that 11-month home resort priority booking window, so only folks with boardwalk contracts are booking at the boardwalk. For now, it seems like there's okay availability, and maybe at the 7-month window, I would be able to snag the room that I want. Back to the current example of booking travel in May 2021, you can see that those dates are not fully available at the Grand Floridian. But say we really wanted to stay here and we were willing to do a split stay regardless. You can book just this 1 day or 2 days, some subset of the days you were looking for, straight from this page. You do not have to go back to the main search in order to edit the days. So if I wanted to book just this 1 day, it would say 1 night selected. This is when you're going to check in. This is when you're going to check out. It'll cost you this many points, and you hit continue. Right now, it's not going to let me book anything for May of 2021 because I don't have enough points. Let's move forward to my next use here where it will let me book something. So just for fun, let's check out September 10th. So that would be 20 vacation points. I hit continue. And now it says, sorry, your requested dates are outside of the booking window for this resort. And that is, of course, because September is more than 7 months away from right now, and I don't have home priority here. So the system makes it very hard for you to game it. You will have to play by the rules. To show you a quick example of a booking and how simple it is, let's just look at Bay Lake Tower since I do have home resort priority for that. Again, let's just randomly choose September 10th. So even though I started with this May search, I am able to change it to September very easily in this calendar, and I don't have to redo the search. This 1 night would cost me 16 vacation points in this Deluxe Studio standard view. So if I click continue, this time it is going to let me proceed because I do have that 11-month home priority booking window. Now it's going to tell me how many points I have on my current contract and then how many points I am able to borrow. Normally you can borrow up to 100% of points from your next use year. Currently, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, that has been limited to 50%. So I have a 90-point contract, so I can only borrow up to 45 points. Because I don't have enough vacation points in the current use year, it is going to ask me if I want to borrow from the 2022 use year. Alternatively, you could bank points from your current use year into the next use year, but I don't have any 2020 points to bank, so I know that's not an option for me. So if you click borrow, it will ask you how many points you want to borrow. It says I need 15, so I would have to borrow at least 15. And then once you finish that, you would be able to click continue and finish your reservation. Once you have a reservation, it will show up again on your dashboard in your vacation plans. And if you need to change that for any reason, you can click view or modify details. From there, all of your details will be present, how many points it costs, the check-in date, the checkout day, and the guest information. If you need to cancel, you'll simply click this cancel reservation button. If you want to change anything about the guest, you click modify here. If you want to change anything about your stay, you click modify here. This can be taking away days, this can be adding days, this can be changing resorts. It's really anything you want. When you go to modify, it's going to bring you to a page that looks a lot like the booking page. It will automatically select the dates that are already booked, so if you want to change that, you can change that here. Similarly, again, you can choose different room types, different resorts, and then you'll check availability. So this reservation is currently booked for a Standard View Deluxe Studio, but due to availability, if I wanted to, I could upgrade to the Lakeview Deluxe Studio. It will tell me how many vacation points that costs. Let's click continue just for fun. So that previous reservation took 52 points to create, and then I have 1 point left over from my current use year. So it's saying I have 53 points to book. This will cost 64 points though. So similarly, I would need to go ahead and borrow points from 2022 in order to complete this reservation. And it will ask you if you're sure that you want to modify before it does that. And when you modify, it will totally cancel your old reservation and put this new one in. I find the booking system to be pretty simple. I believe just a few years ago, you had to do everything over the phone, so this newish online interface is absolutely great. It very much mirrors that I'm used to working with from the Walt Disney World website. Of course, thinking in terms of points rather than cash is a little bit different, but for the most part, it's a very easy transition. Let me know if you have any questions about the booking process or anything on the MyDVC member portal in the comments down below. And if you want to chat outside of YouTube, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PixieDustPhD. I'm looking forward to learning the intricacies of the MyDVC member portal along with you. Definitely, if there's anything you want me to look at more in depth, let me know. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely splendid, and we'll see you real soon at PixieDustPhD.